Hey, Hickok 45. Got the Chiappa Little Badger here, and dove season is over. Hunting season for doves is over, but we've got one here on the compound. I'm going to double tap him. Don't tell anybody. The key to a good double tap is trigger control, recoil control, follow-up shot, all that good stuff. None of which is a factor with this, right? Yes, we have the little badger. Let's go ahead and look at it. And look at what the heck we have. You've probably seen these in gun shops. I've seen them for, what, about a year and a half. They've been around in three different calibers, cartridges and chamberings, and I thought they're pretty interesting. Never fired one, held one I think somewhere a couple of times, but that's what makes the shooting sports interesting and fun though. There's so many different firearms. They all have some purpose, if nothing but just to plink with, right? So this is the Little Badger. It's it's an interesting little firearm. John and I have been shooting it, and well, I started to say it looks like a toy, or especially in my hands, a piece of junk, you might even say. But it seems to be well made. It seems to be fairly good quality. There's nothing about it, excuse me, I have determined yet to think, wow, what a cheap piece of junk or something. It's kind of interesting, and the way it is made. And as you see, you have, let me shoot another shot here. Oh, I have some ammo right here. Look at that. How's that? Well, I'm combat ready, right? Let's try something. Let me put my ears on. We do have a little velocity here. Let's see if it'll break a 2-liter. I think so. We're talking 2,500 feet per second. Okay, so that's trucking. That is trucking, and that's one of the reasons this is fairly, or this round, this 17 HMR is so popular. I mean, it seems to be. We've had a lot of requests to do something in this cartridge, and I've had requests to do this, so we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Oh, no, we killed 1 bird with 2 stones. Yeah, that's what we did, 2 bullets. But it's an interesting little gun, and it's an interesting cartridge. Very small caliber. The cowboy's hard to steal. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot him. Yeah, it's going so fast, even though it's a small bullet and very light, 17 grains, it still does some damage to regular steel, we've discovered. Okay, it actually pockmarks it. All right, now the cowboy is relatively hardened steel, so I think he's okay. But that's amazing, and a little bitty bullet like that, rim fire going that fast. What it is, if you don't know, I'm not an expert in it myself. We've got some CCI, some Federal, and Hornady VMAX, but it's I didn't bring out a 22 Magnum round, should have. But it's basically a 22 Magnum round necked down to 17 caliber. That's what it is. So you have basically the same cartridge, again, neck down with just a smaller bullet, 17.17. That is very, very small. You think a 22 is small, this cranks it on down. And these things are chambered in this. And well, now I say this, as I was thanking Buds for sending us this, I should have thanked Buds too for they're really responsible, as I understand, for this cartridge in this particular gun. Bud, the actual Bud of Bud's Gun Shop, knows the people at Chiappa, and he talked them into chambering it in this, I believe. And then they bought a bunch of them. They sold some of them. You can get them, I think, in some other distributors maybe, but I think they initially all came through Buds. It was kind of their idea. And to chamber it in the 17 HMR. And in some ways it makes sense to, I guess in this caliber, I don't know, it's more expensive than 22 long rifle, I guess. But although these days 22 long rifle is fairly expensive and not all that available. Depends on what you're doing, if what you're hunting. I'm not a big hunter, so you would know more about that, many of you, which cartridge would be ideal if you're going to plink squirrels, rabbits, or you want to keep it in the backpack out on the trail for rats or some kind of varmint, or just whatever. But anyway, this is one of the fastest round, definitely. As I understand, the 22 Magnum has more muzzle energy, but the 17 HMR has more velocity. So it's just kind of a trade-off. But it's a very fast little bullet, very fast. Let's put another one in there. This one, where did I pull this out? This is a Federal. And most of those, see, two of those show velocities of I think 25, 50 or something. The VMAX, doesn't have it listed. It's probably somewhere in that vicinity. Let's see what it'll do to a pot. I'm going to shoot the big one. Might not do much. That smoked it. Look at that smoke coming out of it. It put a hole in it. Although we have seen some powerful rounds do just that, haven't we? Even I believe a 5.56 sometimes. It'll just put a hole in one. There we go. And then it takes another one to finish it off. This is it's kind of fun. Got my ammo right here. I'm ready to go. Like I said, combat ready. So you see how it works, of course. It just breaks down. And it is really hard to do a double tap with it because it's single shot. There are people who can probably do that with one, but you know, it'd be pretty difficult. Simple in design. You do have, it's not just like the simplest, cheapest thing thrown together, though. You don't get that impression because you got adjustable sights, both elevation and windage. In some ways, it's like the old, I don't know, the carbine or .3 Springfield sight or A3. You know, you got that same sliding arrangement there, and then you got your crank there to do the windage. The windage seems to be on okay, as best I can tell at this point. I adjusted the windage significantly because it was shooting really high, so I slid that on down. They're kind of a mixture of polymer there, you know. They're not made out of silver or gold or anything. And the front sight looks like a mixture of polymer. Let's see, make sure we're empty. And you have a little cover there, a plastic cover, because it is threaded. So if you wanted to put a suppressor on it, you could do that and do some machine gunning. You'll probably, and you got your quad rail, of course, because you'll probably want to put an ACOG on that or an EOTech, don't you think? Let's shoot another one. All right. Who wants? I'll just pull it on the gong, see if we can hit it. Oh man, it hit it and got there fast, didn't it? Well, I'll just use these up while I'm right there with them. It was there about the time I pulled the trigger. Where do I put them? Where do I put them? Put them in that pocket. I'm gonna do that again. As soon as I pull the trigger, boom. It's there. I better not shoot it too much. It's probably putting little dings in it because it's not hardened steel. I might put one on that red plate, see if I can hit it. I think if I hold low on it, I can do it. Yeah, popped it. Nifty little gun. I guess it would be interesting to bench rest it with some kind of optic on it and just see, you know, how accurate it might be. As I understand, they're pretty accurate. And the stock, now you're probably wondering, how in the world can John or I shoot this little thing? Because it folds up to, I think, 18 inches. But even when it's open, you know, it's not that big. And look at that stock. But, you know, actually, I was pleasantly surprised because I put that at my shoulder. And I'm sure it looks like a little baby toy for sure, but I can see the sights just fine. I can get my face, the contour of it allows me to get my face down far enough, and it's got a nice little peep sight, a ghost ring. It's really not a problem to shoot the thing, as small as it is. I did move the stock out a little bit. It's adjustable. And I read the directions. You loosen these screws on the side. They're those Torx screws, which I hate. Loosen that one first. I think it said 3 turns, and then this one 3 turns or 2.5 or something. I read the directions. Then I couldn't get it out. I struggled with it, to tell you the truth. But I just kept loosening them, and I finally, you know, torqued it enough to I got it to pull out some, and then just tighten it back up. It's really not that big a problem if you're not a klutz like I am, I guess. But I got it out a little bit, and that helps a little. But actually, when I first got it and it wasn't out, same thing. I could just put it up here and take a shot. I'll tell you something else about the stupid thing. It's got a good trigger. John and I are kind of amazed because it's got a really nice trigger, and that's one reason I think I can shoot it. Because you get it up there, and I know it looks awkward. It's not as awkward as it looks. And I mean, I will pull on empty chamber. It's a 22. It's not good to dry fire it a lot, but the trigger is really nice. The sights are really nice. So for something that somebody in the design team of this thing did a little bit of thinking. So look, let's make some little collapsible, backpacking, plinker, survival, hunting, single shot rifle, whatever they want to call it. But let's put a good trigger in it. Let's put some good sights on it. Somebody on the team had the sense to bring that up. So thankfully. What about it? Okay, like I say, you got your quad rails there, and you got a little rail here. As I understand, there's a pistol grip that is available that you can attach right there. So then you've got a combat weapon for sure with a pistol grip, right? And like I say, the stock's adjustable. I think you can store extra rounds right there. Yeah. And what else about it? Of course, you see, you've been watching me, the lever there, you just pull on that, it opens up. It's got trigger safeties and hammer safeties and all that. What else? Seems to lock up tightly. So I don't know. The biggest criticism of the thing would be just the size of it, or the looks of it, or you just have no need for it, or the cartridge or something. But for actually what it is, it's a bit of a surprise, I'll have to say. It's pretty neat. I think they sell, depending on the calibers, from somewhere, let me shoot some more of this Federal. They sell for anywhere from 150, I think, to, I don't know, over 230, maybe 250, I don't know. This is probably one of the more expensive cartridges. And of course, you get this bag, that's worth a couple $100, right? Put it in that bag with a little Badger on it. But it's, yeah, I think around 250 is absolute max on it, if you're looking for something like this. Let's shoot some more of these 2 liters. They're thinking they're going to get away safely today, but they're not. Nope, if they shoot like that, they will. That trigger is so good, like I said, it's light. I didn't mean to shoot. It got off just a little bit before I meant for it to. Yeah. Well, I have some other firearms I'd like to have that trigger on. That is pretty cool. Let's try a 12-ouncer. Nice. You want me to do some rapid fire? Okay, let's try the other 2 liter. Ooh, cool. Yeah, it shoots fine. I don't have anything to clean it with, to tell you the truth. Now I've got I brought this stuff out here in case in the middle of the video it started getting dirty and hung up or something. Pipe cleaner is the only thing I could come up with that I could, maybe brush out the chamber as much as possible there. This would never get in there, but maybe because I tried my 22 caliber bore snake after we shot it some just to run, but no way that's going through. I mean, again, it's 17 caliber. So I just don't have anything. I'll have to buy I'll just get a bore snake and not use pipe cleaners to do that, because I couldn't get the whole barrel anyway. But so if it starts getting dirty or junked up on me, there's not much I can do. All right. I knew it would take out 2 liters without any trouble. Get one of these in there, torpedoes. Ow! Cool. Cool. We've shot it a fair amount, and it hasn't locked up on us or done anything strange. That's all. Oh, we got another pot there that needs smoking. Cool. I'm having to find the front side because it's black and the rear side's black, and it's a little. It's not darkish, but not a lot of extra light down there. If I do a lot of serious combat with this, taking it into combat, I'll probably paint the front sight. I think, I don't know, you might not have a purpose for a gun like this. I might not either, other than to bring it to you all and show you, in case you're not familiar with it and how it works and what I think of it. But I don't know what some of the purposes, again, would be, like backpacking, throwing the truck. It's not too expensive. One of those guns, it's not an heirloom. that would just crush you if it were stolen or lost, although you don't want firearms left around where they'd be stolen, of course. But I can see it being a pretty neat little gun for a youngster. I think the single shot is always good for teaching a youngster, I don't know, the discipline of shooting, the discipline of not just going through a lot of ammo. We all like semi-automatics, fully automatics, right? Just let them crank. Yeah, I don't know. You get someone that's 8 years old and you just give them a steady diet of full auto or semi-auto automatic fire. I don't know, that maybe they grow up and they can't really appreciate a simple firearm that's just quality, a bolt action gun or something like this. And they can focus on the fine art of marksmanship, right? Speaking of that, I'll see if I can hit that 12 incher. Because really, with this firearm and these sights and this trigger, you'd have no excuse for actually hitting what you're aiming at within reason. Pretty cool little single shot. 22, would be cheaper to shoot, I guess. Okay, let's shoot that big tank over there. It's fun to hear it. And then we might as well go buffalo hunting. Put that hammer in. Okay. Let's see, I've shot, I think, a little bit of everything. Let's try a couple of CCI. We shot Federal, the VMAX. Of course, I can't tell any difference. Now, if you're out rabbit hunting or squirrel hunting or something, varmint hunting, rat plinking, you might see a difference in the damage it does. I'm going to hit a buffalo over there on the left, I guess. Try to. Popped him, I think. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. What we not shot? Oh, there's a 12 ouncer right there close. And I hit the wood. Oh gosh, what have I not shown you about this crazy thing? I don't know, it's just interesting the way it packs up like that, folds up into a small package. Again, if I didn't say it, it's available, I think, in 22 long rifle, and I guess it'd shoot 22 longs or shorts. I don't know why it wouldn't in that chambering, and 22 Magnum. I think it's available in 17 HMR. Not sure. And they do make a different one if you're not familiar with it. It's more like a conventional firearm with wood stock. It's, what's that thing called? Oh man, something Badger too. But it has a, not honey badger, is it? I don't know what it, but it has two barrels. It has a 410 barrel, and it has, I think, a 22 long rifle or maybe even 22 Magnum barrel on it. So that's another Chiappa variation of this. But this is pretty neat. And of course, I can't let that little 12 ouncer survive and be missed like that. Really have a hard time, yeah, picking up that sight though. That thing jump upside down. Well, it had gotten too dirty. The chamber doesn't seem prone to clogging or anything. At least I think John and I shot it, I don't know, 15, 20 times. And then whatever you're seeing here, and that's without any cleaning. It was a little stiff on the lockup. I ballastalled the hinge there when I first got it, and it smoothed out immediately, just with a little oiling. And it seems to be a solid little gun for what it is. It may not be anything you're interested in, but it's, quit yelling at you, but it's a pretty neat little piece of hardware, and something, as we have stressed before, John has, I have too, every firearm doesn't have to have some ultimate purpose. There's much better guns for hunting than this. You could argue that with most of the firearms I have, that there's something that might be better for self-defense, or better for hunting, or better for long-range competition, or better for an IPSC match, or whatever it might be. There's always something that is better. But if there's something that you just think is cool, it's interesting, it's not all that expensive, then that's kind of part of the shooting hobby, right? Not that I'm trying to sell you one of these. I don't care whether you own one of these or not, but it's pretty interesting little gun if you are looking for something like this, I guess my first question whenever I see something like this is that a piece of junk or not? You know, maybe you or I or someone, you haven't had a chance to pick one up anywhere. So I guess that may be the most valuable thing I can bring to you if you've not held one. It's really not a piece of junk. It seems like it's decently made and kind of fun to plink around with. You know me, I kind of like single shots, so generally in bigger caliber. How's that for some contrast? You know, the Sharps and 45-70 single shot. You've seen me with 2 or 3 of those. And now I'm shooting a single shot little wimpy 17 caliber. That's like a little piece of shaving off the 45-70, isn't it? But anyway, pretty neat little gun. I don't know what else to tell you about it, except it's kind of interesting, and it is what it is. It does what it does. Life is good.